Okay, and alrighty. Let me take a look-see here, make sure everything is going good. Seems like it. Well, welcome to the continuation of the Pillars of Eternity playthrough. We finished up the first game, and we'll be launching to the second here, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. So without further ado, now just so you know, I'm not going to be doing any of the specific challenges on it, because of the randomized, and also because of that, yep, real time with pause as particular. I won't be using any of the Bareth's blessings either to give us anything extra, except maybe giving it a pet slot. Okay, even we give him pet slot, odd we don't. That is a 3, so we do not give Adair pet slot. I'm a monster, I know. Okay, I'm going to have it on relaxed, or easy, because of the randomized build. If I absolutely need to, I might dip down to story. In fact, when it comes to the Beast of Winter, we might be doing that, because some of the fights in that one were frickin' insane. But, without further ado, let's get into it. Deadfire. Loading. Loading.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher. One who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon.
And howdy there, welcome to the stream.
With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnu, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep, lifting the curse. Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. That maybe the gods weren't finished with us. God came back. He would forgive us. Last the troubled dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and a watcher you will stay.
Moving along.
A watcher sees souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
A dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
What is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
And into the Audra.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gore, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Or, like a jack-o'-lantern. I do love this. Like the hand here.
Please. Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in.
Thank you, narrator.
A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times. She's preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Examine the cards to choose your legacy. Okay. So we are going to import our save.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yes.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Berath. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction. The gods offered you boons in exchange for resolving the Hollowborn crisis. You did not accept any of their offers. What did you do with the souls?
Dispersed the souls randomly.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
Yes, in the Hall of Stars in Twin Elms.
You came to that tower seeking our aid. You prayed for help in reaching Theos, beyond the Court of Penitence, but would not pledge yourself to me. Still, a pledge unmade stands fairer in this court than a pledge broken.
She places a card in the middle of the arrangement. A bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Ognua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothus. Of this we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are. Though Aothus stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between. You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Am I dead?
No. But neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a Hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
Well, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people around it.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands. Their souls remain in Aothus still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
Then let's get on with it.
Good. Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life and death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the Beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Okay, so we're going to start from scratch. Last time Clarence was a male Orlan wizard, but let's see what we get this time. So, odd will be male, even will be female. Even, so that's an 8, so female. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, okay. So an Orlan once more. Okay, either wild or hearth, high, low. That's a 1, so it's going to be a wild Orlan. I thought we were pretty sure we were hearth last time. Okay, now for single and multi-class, I'm going to do a high-low on this one. Low single class, high multi-class. That's single class. Rolled a 2, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So break out our d12. Roll. That is an 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Priest. And for a subclass, we have 6 different options. Margren. Priest of Margren. Would have been fun to go on Priest of Whale, but how do you know? Okay, Margren is the goddess of war, fire, and trickle. She is invoked and revered by warriors of all cultures, but especially by the people of the Deerwood, who believe the goddess helped them defeat Saint Widwin during the Saints' War. Margren favors bold action and quick wits over emotion and diplomacy. Okay. And I will preview your ability tree here. So one of the adaptations I will be making on the randomized build this time is I'm only going to be rolling for abilities from the highest tier we have available, or in this case, deepest tier we have available. Now this one, it doesn't have like a difference between like oh, you select an ability or you select a talent, the same point pool goes into both. But I'm just doing that so we'll at least like have some variety of abilities and stuff. Just like maybe just roll like a bunch of like basic lobies, because you don't get everything in this game. You only get what you select. So okay, so for our initial abilities, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see what strength spell we have. We have 5. Interdiction. It's a condemnation, and it's, yep, dazes any enemies in the area of effect, which isn't too bad. But it ain't like Blessing or Holy Power or other stuff. Okay, we got 15 points to spend and rolling a d6 for each one. Let's see if we get something interesting. That's going to be Dex. And we rolled it once. Resolve. Intellect. Resolve. Resolve. Constitution. Constitution. Intellect. Might. Dex. Constitution. Oh, perception. Con. Intellect. And finally, perception. Okay, not too bad. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, originally he was an Adiran from an Adiran dissident. This time she is a Ixamital. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Mercenary. Okay. So, 1, 2, 4, 7, 10, 16, 22, 25. Okay, that's a full-on 31 there. So instead I'm just going to roll a d6 for category first. Firearms, d3. Proficient with a arquebus, and also proficient with one-handed. Roll d12. 8. Is that saber? Saber. So the way proficiency works in this one, there isn't like any inherent bonus or penalty for heavy proficiency, but it unlocks modals. Like in this case for saber, if you can use a modal windmill slash, which gives you more penetration at the cost of recovery time. Penetration is good against armor. It's kind of like how damage threshold worked in Fallout New Vegas, if you're familiar with that game. And sure, portrait's good. Let's see if there's any other Orlin. I kind of like that Orlin one. Colors. Let's go for, I'm feeling blue. Blue and deep red. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stoic. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So rolling d20. That's a 10. Pious. That actually fits well with priest. And of course the name is Clarence Wong. Oh. Okay, yep. And additionally, with skills, for each character, I'm basically going to make a roll on their level up of what they're going to be specializing in, and then from that point onward, just putting in that skill. I'm not going to be rolling for every level for each skill type, simply because of how the game works. You really want to have specialists in things. Having just a even low spread is just going to have you bumping into corners everywhere, as it were.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you, to open the gateway from the in-between to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The dark...
A chime.
Oh, sorry.
Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
I know there's a part where you can actually customize the physical appearance of the model. I guess I missed that somewhere. It's probably on the race option. I don't know. But I like the default one well enough, so if I find something in game that lets you do that, I might go back and do it, but I'm not overly torn up about it. You sense the steward's spirit in the bust, but she is unaware of you.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adair watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
I'm in a lot of pain.
That might have been me. Slapping you a little harder each day, trying to wake you. I never dreamed it'd work.
Adair stares with disbelief at what would likely be his slapping hand, examining both sides. He shrugs.
Well, you owe me.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
Cad Nua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul, and proximity to it has brought you back.
Remain silent.
Misfortune's brewing topside. Magrance fires, the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates.
They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
Okay.
All right, now make some use of it.
Okay. Get equipped. Oh, it even gives us Saber and an Arquebus. Very nice.
The pirates of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly.
Because I know our Holy Radiance gets modified in effectiveness by the dispositions we have. And in this case, Margaret actually favors aggressive and clever, and disfavors passionate and diplomatic. Now, we will, of course, be rolling for all our responses, so who knows what we'll get. And I know in at least the first one there was actually a talent that you could take as Margaret that actually boosted arquebuses. So, hey, that actually kind of fits. I don't know if there's one in this one. So this one we have Fan of Flames, which is typically a wizard spell, and then Interdiction.
What have we here? A little sloop? Lost and alone in the storm?
A surly, brutish-looking captain stands stiff-backed before his crew. He scowls as he assesses you, his hair whipping around his ears in the wind.
I'll be taking your ship now, if you don't mind. And especially if you do.
Well, at least he asked.
I am a gentleman of fortune.
The captain shrugs in the sheeting rain before pinning you with a slow, murderous
Give
grin.
her up easy, and I'll see you get a swift death. It'll be bloody and agonizing, sure. But at least it'll be quick.
Pirates?
In the blood and flesh. Aye, that I am. And you? You're a dead woman. Now then, me and my mates will be helping ourselves to your ship. There's no need to see her sunk by the storms. Or my culverins.
With a grunt, he nods towards the port cannons.
Listen up, mates.
He cracks his neck as he addresses his crew.
I'm off to spear me a bigger fish. One with sharper teeth like. I'm trusting you lot not to cock this up. Don't damage the sloop when you take it. Play with the crew if you'd like, but don't bring me any prisoners. None that are alive.
You had bandwidth! After him!
Okay.
Defend the ship!
Okay, not engaged, so move back. Fire on you.
Storm's picking up! Take cover!
You've defeated the pirates, but you're not out of trouble yet. The storm picks up, lashing your ship and driving you dangerously close to a rocky shore. The Defiant's crew hurries to reduce sail and batten down the hatches. They work quickly, but the ship is still listing heavily. Just then, a loose crate tumbles toward you, gathering speed on the rain-slick deck. It misses you, but knocks Chapultepec, one of your deckhands, off his feet. The Defiant heaves. Chapultepec pitches over the side. He grabs onto the whale, but his fingers are slipping. He cries out for help. Meanwhile, the runaway crate totters on the edge of the deck, ready to plunge overboard. You recognize the symbol on the front and realize it likely contains some salvage from Cad Nua, your keep. Save the crate. You seize the crate just as it's about to tip into the roiling sea. It's heavy, but you manage to heave it back on the edge. It thumps onto the deck, and you hear a fading scream and a splash. Japutic is gone. There's no sign of him in the churning waves below. Meanwhile, the storm has nearly driven you ashore. A flash of lightning reveals a treacherous coastline and Aothus striding into the distance. The lookout barely has time to shout a warning before the Defiant runs aground. The impact hurls you from the deck and into a froth of waves, bodies, and splintering debris. You struggle towards the beach just ahead, even as the surf tugs you toward the open sea. You kick and paddle with all your might, until at last you feel sand between your fingers. Pulling yourself ashore, you collapse.
Sleep so far on this trip. I'd have woke you, but you look so peaceful with your face in the sand.
Adair runs his fingers through his hair and removes a strand of seaweed he finds lodged there. He examines it closely and then tosses it onto the sand.
If you're worried about the ship, you can stop worrying. It's wrecked right over there.
He points out the Defiant, despite it being difficult to miss from your vantage point.
So far, it's just you and me and the chair lady over there.
Adair nods towards something further up on the beach.
It's a relief to see you awake, my lady. I worried you were in for another long sleep.
Your steward appears to be lodged between some rocks. Despite this, her tone is warmly cheerful. Where are we?
Don't know, but it's real pretty.
Difficult to say for certain. The Deadfire is spotted with islands, some quite small. The good news is that if the storm hasn't spun us round entirely, I'd say we're in charted waters. I believe the Valian Trading Company operates in the region. Hence that little visit from that wretched pirate captain.
Let's get going.
See about the other survivors. Then somehow we gotta get the ship repaired. I don't want to be paddling out of here on a salvage raft.
For now, I'd say your best bet is to find some sign of civilization. If nothing else, we may be able to hire on a shipwright. My lady, if it is not too taxing, could you explain how it came to pass that you were returned to us?
I love these dice. Squint dramatically while looking out at the ocean. I've returned as the Herald of Berith. I'm on a special mission to find Aothus and learn what his plans are.
Sure. I suppose if any mission could be considered special, it'd have to be this one.
A perilous endeavor indeed. Castle or no castle, you are still my lady, and I will aid you to the best of my ability.
Well, I suppose we better get a move on.
Let's go. Okay, and we'll roll to see if he's a fighter, a rogue, or a fighter rogue. Ooh, swashbuckler, a fighter rogue. So, the way multi-class works in this game is you kind of level both classes simultaneously, but at a slower rate of progression. It's somewhat reminiscent of how multi-class characters worked back in 2nd edition AD&D. If you ever played the first two Baldur's Gate games, like that's what your hero was, as well as like Mortarion, or whatever his name was. Ooh, plus 10 crit with weapons, Oil of Lure, and Thief's Putty. Yep. Totally worth killing a man over this. Yep, totally. These were just like little pre-order items. Yeah, the pets here... Yeah, grant some party-wide effects. Like this one gives an accuracy bonus against flaked enemies to the entire party. I think that's just a cloak. Yeah. Space Pig! More effective with healing spells and potions. Give a bonus to Constitution. Sleight of hand skill. Okay. And he starts with his Deerwood mayoral medal because he was the mayor. In other, depending on your choices, he could also start with a night market medallion. Yep. Adair chose not to return home to Gilded Vale, still most comfortable living far from the cities. He settled in Deerford, which, like many towns in the Deerwood, was beginning the slow process of rebuilding. Believing now that it was the obligation of Kith to be the leaders the gods had not been, Adair was named mayor of the town. Under his guidance, Deerford began to prosper. He expelled the last of the Skanites from the area and drew new settlers to the offer of land, a trick he had learned from someone he otherwise preferred to forget. With each passing day, Deerford would come to more closely resemble the gilded Vera of Adair's childhood, the one worthy of its name. Upon his election, the local lord presented Adair with this medallion as a sign of official recognition and goodwill. And he has a Saint's War armor. Ability-wise, looks like he has a broad mix of skills. Also in this game, so in most conversations you just have your own skills, but party members can like add half of theirs as a bonus to yours. So there's that. Yes. Chance. So he does have sneak attack from being a rogue. So enemies that have affliction effects or are flanked, he can use that against. He has knockdown and crippling strike, which can hobble people, which is a dex affliction. Yep. Okay. And like he is like, and these are like things that he likes and dislikes. Like he's traditional, lighthearted. Even though he's more secular now, he's still pro-Aethasian, anti-Latin Key. Okay. Just checking all these menus real quick. Okay.
Yeah? Right.
Now this game doesn't have the endurance system that the first one did, and so you just have your health. And if you get knocked down, you get like a little red pip here on the side. Up to 3 of those.
The rest of those sodden bastards made it.
Just gonna comb the beach for stuff. Also in this game, secrets and traps are detected using your perception attribute, not the party's mechanics.
Spy, Magrin here. My flame burns yet.
One moment. Okay.
Is that ye?
Eld Engrim appears to be in sound condition, though his back's jacket is soaked through. He praises you with a bleary-eyed amusement.
You woke just in time for the fun. Fighting off motherless raiders one moment, flung into the freezing depths of Ondra's bosom the next.
Engrim's eye twitches as he flashes a smile, notable for its extraordinary absence of teeth.
Aye. Magrin learns us poor bastards that a little excitement's good for the heart.
The last Margrenite to travel with me wasn't quite up to the goddess's challenge.
Aye, poor Durance. May the mad Horson see better days come the next turn of the wheel. There's nae getting the ship back underway without repairs. Yonder road inland seems the best chance of that. You want to be kicking some of the corpses before you go, see if some cry out. We need a crew if we're to set sail.
He fed Durance to the Skanight blood pit.
Fine way to stretch your legs after such a long sleep, I'd say.
Engrim's eye twitches again, the lip drooping as he nods in affirmation of his own wisdom. You're still drunk, aren't you?
Dry as kindling, Watcher.
His beard provides some cover for his smile, but his eyes twinkle playfully. Shouldn't you be helping?
I'm Captain. I pray for the dint to test ourselves anew against the pirates. We'll nae let them slip away a second time.
Any idea where I should start?
Heard some hollering by the Defiant. Worth spying on, just in case someone weren't cast from the deck onto the strand.
I'll go see if I can find anyone else.
I'll start a fire. A right proper fire to thank Magrin for all her trials. Maybe time to wrangle a boar before the hunger sets in.
Boars are mean.
I made, but I'm hungrier than they are mean.
Hey, watch out.
Take him down.
Suey. Suey.
On it.
Okay, search over here a bit. The other army and a Principi hat.
Help! Somebody! Perco Blanca!
It's the ghost of the man I let die.
Yeah?
Ooh, good tools.
Hey, of course.
Will do.
Okay. The Defiant is looking far worse for wear after its unexpected landfall. The hull has splintered in several places along the keel, while the tattered sail stands as evidence of your battle with the pirates. The deck of the Defiant is well out of reach from here. The ship groans like a beached whale each time the waves roll in, but it doesn't seem to be listing further. You may be able to climb up. Let's scale the hull by hand. Okay, this is just a water-only check, and I have 1 in athletics. Yeah, okay, so we see 2. I had 1 from self and then 1 from party assist, for a total of 2. You climb nimbly up the side of the ship and reach the top without so much as breaking a sweat. Adair's not far behind, pulling himself up and over the railing beside you.
Watcher, is that you?
The ghostly figure turns toward you, voice rising eagerly.
It is strange. I see nothing. A gray nothing. What happened? I remember the ship listing under our feet. Something struck me.
You were killed by a crate. Not the noblest end, but at least it was quick, right?
Was it? I forget. I thought the end would be different. You are a watcher. You would have been our captain. Tell me, where am I to go?
Don't know, but if you see the Pale Knight, say hello for me. She projects ghostly brow wrinkles with mournful confusion. He says nothing further, but as you move away, you become aware of his presence, following in your wake.
Ghosts, huh? Suppose you're stuck with that.
You're looking better, Casita. That, or I'm worse off than I thought.
I do like how they have the little captions in there, where you can mouse over something and see like what this term is. I believe Obsidian first used that in Tyranny, which I might play at some point. Tyranny really did not live up to its potential. Not a bad game by any means, but something that, like, you play this and you're like, this could have been even better. So much even better. But perhaps another time.
It's my leg, Matico. It hurts even worse than it looks.
Irena's leg bears a bloody gouge along the length of her shin, and the swelling around her knee suggests a nasty break. What happened?
I was a stubborn Pastanaga. I was trying to fasten this mess down when we struck shore. Barrel rolled right over my leg. Everything we've been through, and I'm nearly done in by a cask of rum.
Have you seen anyone else?
Funny thing, it's hard to see much from the underside of the barrel.
Craft a splint from some debris. I'll patch you up the best I can, but you'll want to stay off the leg as much as
I
possible.
wasn't planning on going for a run, Casita.
Irena watches you work with obvious relief. Once you're through, she gives the leg a tentative stretch.
It still hurts, but I can manage from here. Agrasima, have you found any of the others yet?
Just look for the campfire.
That should be easy enough. I'll save you a spot.
Yeah?
Okay. From the prow, the sandbar below seems deceptively close. Climb down.
I got it.
Okay. And let's open up the map.
seeing you here.
The spirit's voice warps and shifts, muted as if by a great distance. Even so, he grins brightly at you.
I can't see much of anything, really, apart from you. Just endless gray. What happened?
You didn't make it, you idiot. You're dead.
That's clear enough. A man doesn't just wind up in the in-between, not unless something real unfortunate happened to him.
Yeah, because this is where it goes over paladin priests, like holy radiance and faith and conviction. Yeah.
It's weird. I thought death would be different. Big light and so on. But I don't see anything at all. Just you.
Bareth charged me with guiding souls to the afterlife, so I suppose you're my responsibility now.
Oh. Suppose that sounds nice enough. I'll follow you then, shall I?
Come along, then. The spirit falls into step behind you, radiating cheer.
Yeah, of course.
There's nothing for miles.
Okay. So let's enter into that there cave.
I guess we're not the first to head this way. Whoa, whoa, look.
Yeah, sure.
Since he's the one with the sneak attack.
We saw that.
Of course, it detects him before. Okay, so with it hobbled, his sneak attack should be working on it. If he had hit it. It's still hobbled. Yeah, Dirk grazes it. Wow, for 12.
Yeah? Nice and bright.
Trouble up ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah? It's not supposed to happen.
Nice!
Yeah? I got it. Huh? Mm-hmm.
Waterlogged note. Still no signs of Benwith. How much longer are we going to wait? The wet's already ruined half our take. And get your stinking construct under control. It's been hung out by that crystal. I swear it's been giving me the eye. Okay, so it looks like...
Hey.
Yeah? I'll get it open.
Well, able to at least use it.
Done. Will do. Yeah? Sure. Steady does it.
Check up here to the north.
I got it.
trouble up ahead?
Now this one, like, if it's just like a sword with no skulls, it's like your level, and like each skull is an additional level on top of it. So it's a little way to tell what is what.
I guess I make as good a target as any.
I want you to do one of your hobbles if you can. We're just gonna move her up here. If we use that. Okay, it really didn't do anything against... Oh no, it's still shaken and from that. Okay, good, good. Okay, it's immune to fire damage. Actually, in the interest of giving a deer an easier flank, alrighty.
What's a metal killing machine doing out here by himself in a cave? Anyway, collecting his thoughts?
Oh yeah. Oh, think of my protection, never bad.
Right. Keeping quiet. Found something.
Damn pirates! Audra, take your scabrous souls for fish food.
Character's ability to discover hidden items is tied with perception, and ability to disarm a deactivated trap is based on mechanics. Okay.
Bayadol, still alive and calling everybody scabrous, I see. Well, now we got a bosun. Just need a boat.
A dare. And I see that corpse we've been carting around is looking a slight more sprightly. Good to see the two of you, but mind your step. I've got myself in a spot of trouble. Been trying to find a way past without losing a leg or getting a face full of poison.
Set off the traps prematurely with a few heavy stones. You wreak havoc upon the traps to the tune of snappy metal teeth and clattering darts. When the cacophony is ended, Bedro peers out from between his fingers and gives you a broad grin.
Clever, that. No, it's a good thing none of them were of the exploding variety. Eld Ingram would have gotten a kick out of that, I bet. It's just bats and stinking corpses in this cave. Find anyone else?
He gingerly sets his weight on his injured foot, grimacing. We've got a campfire going on the beach.
I'll head that way myself. See you on the beach, Captain.
Okay, and we have leveled. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so D8. So Clarence is going to be 6. Our sleight of hand specialist. For passives, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 4 insight. So sleight of hand and insight is going to be what Clarence will be focusing on. Okay, and we have 1 ability, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose from. Just doing a quick little search through here. Yeah, because a lot of these are kind of generic to all the classes. Yeah, because I know there was one in the first pillars called Untroubled Faith, where like disfavored dispositions didn't like really affect your kit. but so goes life. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1. Restore. It's a healing spell. Friendly AOA plus 30 health restored. And that's actually quite useful because since I won't be rolling on this again until once I get past it. So the way this game works, instead of being there like a bunch of different healing spells, this one just scales off of your power level, which naturally goes up as you level up. Spiritual weapon. Air fire, shining beacon. Okie dokie. And then, yeah, Empower. You can use Empower on abilities or yourself once per fight. You can use Empower on an active ability to make it much stronger. Alternatively, you can use Empower on yourself to replenish a portion of your ability resources. Yep. And Empowers are per rest.
Trouble up ahead.
Yeah? Got it.
Actually switch you back to your Arquebus.
Huh?
And a Dare leveled, so let's see what a Dare will be specializing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a cocked die. Okay. Mechanics, good. We have a mechanic with us. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Survival. Okay, so idea is going to be mechanics and survival. So he can choose one from either tree. So I'm going to roll for the tree first, and then the skill within it. So low-high between fighter and rogue. That's a 4, so that's high. I was doing a d6. So we have escape, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 6 in total to choose from. That is a 6. Monastic unarmed training. Grant scaling effectiveness in unarmed strikes, so they're not as effective as amongst unarmed strikes. Benefit from increased accuracy, damage, and penetration as you gain levels. At least it's not arm spear. Would have liked things like backstab or defensive roll or fast runner, but eh.
Yeah?
Uh-huh.
Will do.
More hats.
Worth a look?
Of course. What do you need?
Okay. Got that. So let's head up here.
Looks like trouble. I don't think I can pull that off.
I don't know if reloading is quicker or not in this one. Does it actually show the reload speed? Reload time 6.4. So, okay, I do get a bonus thanks to my dexterity, but... The waters here glow an eerie blue, and the cave glistens with reflected light. You can just make out an opening of the cavern wall to the northwest, where the water flows outward. Turning the tunnel seems to extend a short distance before turning sharply, but you cannot see where it leads. Send someone to scout ahead for air pockets, and either or. You take a deep breath and step down into the water. The water is cool, but not uncomfortably so, and you swim forward into the tunnel. Your powerful strokes propel you along swiftly, and you find a few air pockets within comfortable reach of your starting point. You're certain you can make it through the tunnel without much trouble. Swim through. The pockets provide a much-needed reprieve as you make your way through the cramped waterway. You make short work of the journey. You come up with what appears to be another small cavern, where sunlight streams in from an opening in the stone.
Let's take a look.
Okay, so that's a pistol. That has a reload base time of 5 seconds, as opposed to, I think, the 7.
Hey.
Oh.
Uh-huh.
Told him not to bring that thing in there. Didn't like the look of it one bit. But no one daren't speak poor of his precious animancy tech.
The ghostly figure paces the length of the small outcropping with quick, deliberate steps, muttering to herself all the while. Her long cape flaps with the wind that blows from the in-between.
Special gift from his contact, he says. Now it's acting all weird. Gives me the damn creeps. You feel it too, right? Like it's looking straight through you?
She turns piercing purple eyes on you. She shakes her head and resumes her pacing.
Came out here to get away. Couldn't stand it staring at me anymore. Then... my memory's fuzzy. Anyway, you want to Benwith's? Haven't seen you for, but he's been bringing all sort of new folks on lately. Can't hardly keep track.
Looks like the rocks here did a number on your boat.
I think I remember something about a boat. Yeah, and some screaming. Look, maybe we should stick together. Feels right, you know? What with you being the only other thing around and all. I can give you a hand with, spirity stuff.
Okay. Sorry, my entourage is full.
Don't be a spoil sport. We'll have a grand time. Just you wait and see.
The spirit leaves her wrecked boat behind and follows you, still muttering to herself.
Hey. Sure.
Okay. Swim through. And I think, yep, that's everything in the cave. So let's head back to the main beach. And then northward. Stop by the campfire real quick, see if there's any updates here.
News, Captain. I found some supplies must have washed ashore. Even better. I've located some spirits. The mundane kind, I mean. Nothing that requires your talents, Watcher.
His eyes twitch and twinkle in delight. Have you seen any other survivors?
Not a one. We've come away from this one limping, Captain. But we live to see the next battle through.
What do you think we should do now?
It's just the lot of us now, Captain. You'd best head into town, see about supplies and repairs. I'll keep an eye on the ship.
Do you know anything about this island?
Teth live here. I ken that much. Means we're a sight better off than we could be. Of course, it's surely pirate territory. They have a number of bolt holes out this way. I'd nae be surprised if that cave up north is one of them. Could be they lie in wait for us even as we speak.
Farewell. Okay. Okay, and this is just some DLC stuff. Then this is the main map. You can move around. Can't cross rivers, apparently. In the distance, you see a simple wagon. The angle at which it rests on the road, one side jutting above the other, suggests that it has been damaged or disabled. Even from your vantage, you can make out kith milling around it. Sneak closer to observe. As you near the cart, you make out a group of Raidsaran pilgrims in rough-spun linens and cottons. A single draft horse stamps up the ground impatiently, as two of the pilgrims argue over the front right wheel, which seems hopelessly stuck in the mud. Leave the road and avoid the wagon entirely. You slip off the road and make your way through the rough, only to hear shouting. When you look to the carriage, you see the kith there waving at you and shouting entreaties for your aid. I don't have time for this. The pilgrims nod, disappointed, but thank you for your time, and bow their heads as you leave them behind. The old man calls out to you go. Take care of yourself and your soul, traveler. Whether you came for Aerithus or not, we know in our hearts that he has come for us. . 50. So let's head into Port Maget.
Better see what that crowd's about.
What if the giant comes this way?
Please, everyone stay calm.
The man at the center of attention appears to be fielding inquiries from both the gaggle of townsfolk gathered around the platform and a rather severe-looking Amawa woman standing just beside him.
Please, everyone remain calm. I assure you I will do everything in my power to get you the answers you need. Our friends among the Huana
have offered you hospitality and safety from the storms.
The Amawa woman folds her arms.
Yes, yes. I think we are all keenly aware of the debt of gratitude we owe to the...
I have personally seen to the safety of your homes. Now you will do the same for our families.
What about our families?
What about the ships? How are we supposed to feed ourselves? If everyone would...
As Clario's gaze sweeps across the crowd, it falls upon you where it remains. A few more heads turn to see what has caught the governor's attention.
It's one of the pirates.
And what if I am?
Hey, mind if I go get a drink? With you later. Got bad luck with mobs.
Everyone stay calm. I think it's clear our guest is nothing of the sort. Two of my guards reported a ship flying deer wooden colors, fallen prey to a private vessel. That would be your ship, I assume.
The crowd quiets somewhat at that, though you still find yourself the target of a few glares.
That would make her lucky. Your own vessels do not usually fare so well.
The woman regards you with bland curiosity.
Quite.
Say nothing.
Everyone, forgive me. I believe this matter requires my attention. You have my word that I will keep you apprised of any changes. Especially you, Mr. Ikawa.
Do not flatter me with Valian titles. You are distracted with your newcomer and wish me gone. But I will not go far, Governor Clario.
Grande. As for you, stranger, let us speak at my estate. We'll discuss your predicament.
Accept the light, and you shall be redeemed.
A woman shouts, arms raised high and wide. In each hand, she grips a golden candle. The flames gutter wildly as she gestures to the crowd before her. The missionary holds a candle to drip wax in the shape of 3 stars in the forehead of each kneeling worshipper. One of them stumbles back, wiping the hot wax from his skin.
I did not sign up to be burned.
What do you think you're doing?
Idling, that's what. Making ourselves feel all requited.
Her arms crossed over her chest, a shorter, darker-skinned woman watches the ritual with an ornery sort of expression. Her delicate chin jutted up.
We just missed one of the biggest reap-ins of all time. What about the souls that need us?
As she steps forward, she reaches for a peculiar-looking lantern strapped to her hip.
Do not push me on this, you wayward child. You'd leave the living forlorn to service the dead?
Rather than discouraging the other Dawnstar, the accusation seems to kindle a stubbornness inside her. Shoulders set, she grins.
Here, I'll light them all at once.
Metal clanking, she sways an eerily lit lantern in an intricate pattern before her. The priestess bites her lips, swinging harder and faster, lithe arms hurtling the weapon with a deceptively hidden strength, until she thrusts its hard out toward the crowd, splattering everyone with wax. That's one way to do it.
Hell yeah, it is. I call that the...
Grinning, she turns to get a good look at you and promptly chokes.
Are you by any chance looking to help the people I saw die in my dreams?
She ducks her head, cheeks flushing prettily.
I'm guessing you're not here for the baptism.
Come on, Dice, work with me. What happened here?
It's madness, right? Who'd have thought a giant green statue might storm through the port?
At the memory, her pupils gobble up the warm brow of her eyes, and the remaining darkness gleams wickedly.
I did. I dreamed it for months, again and again, and night and day, until I pushed the others to come here. We told the governor, but he wouldn't evacuate on account of me, not knowing exactly when our god might arrive.
No one believed it. But how could we know?
The woman wrings her hands before wiping trembling, wax-smeared fingers down the sides of her robes. What if I was?
No, I don't think you are. You got this feeling about you, like you got a greater purpose to see to.
She tilts her head and smiles, looking too confident for her own good. You have a lot of prophetic dreams?
Nightmares, more like. Terrors that come true.
She rubs a palm over the back of her neck.
Had him since I was a little girl on the farm. Guess Gone was speaking to me even then.
Some of our brethren suffer from these visions more than others, while some of us, favorably, have none at all.
It ain't a curse. It's a blessing. A mark of the divine.
Shoti shrugs. Do you know where I can find the governor?
I surely do. I already asked him to let me inland, on account of my dreams that came true. But he's not giving out the location of the Audra Pillar. You think he'd tell you?
You're not permitted, child, because it's too dangerous. But you never listen.
Yet I hear you all the time, Wanglith.
She grimaces, baring her teeth.
Gone's been calling me here. Left the breadcrumbs in my dreams. I need to get inland. If you're going, I could help you. Swear on my soul.
Who's Gone?
Gone's a smidge of darkness in the light. He was the part of Aethys who divined the dignity of dying, and the return journey to life.
Why do you want to go inland?
There are souls needing their last rites. I ought to shine them the light, else they might get lost.
Enough nonsense, Joti. No one knows if anyone's even died. You've no business going in there, risking your own safety, risking our mission.
Wanglith, you guide the living and I guide the dead. Gone bids it and I dreamed it. Leave it be. We all serve our purposes. So what's yours?
I'm chasing Aethys.
I knew it!
She clenches her grip on the sickle in her right hand.
That was my god who stomped through here. I gotta go after him. Watcher, will you take me with you?
A fine proposition. I'd enjoy the company of a priestess.
I know an offer rare as hen's teeth when I hear it. Yeah, I'm taking it. You won't regret this.
She steals a shy glance at Adair.
Hey.
Adair half nods without looking in Jody's direction. She seems suddenly focused on something in the distance. A tad too eagerly, she saunters close beside you.
Please take care, child. Come back to us in one piece. If not for my sake, then Sauron's.
The older priestess sighs, shaking her head.
So don't tell her. What the High Priestess doesn't know won't hurt her.
Grinning, Jyoti waves her brethren a curt parting. Okay, so let's see if she's going to be a priest, a monk, or priest-monk. A monk. Subclass Sister of the Reaping Moon, which is actually unique to Jyoti, as is technically the Gone. A monastic order of Gone, the reaping aspect of Aethos. Sisters of the Reaping Moon are most effective against opponents who are already at death's door. Bonus, gains buckler proficiency. Her lantern counts as a buckler. Gain wounds when defeating an enemy with a melee attack, but all wound abilities cost an additional wound. And she also starts off with Swift Strikes, which just ups her action speed and grants her Quick Inspiration, which is just plus 5 dex. Okie dokie.
Yeah? Uh-huh.
Do some investigating.
What do we do if there are no more ships?
Die of starvation or disease.
But so. I hate talking to you.
Sorry, we haven't any rooms for you.
The rather large man behind the counter glances your way, smiling grimly.
Guessing you're the one came in off that shipwreck down south. Not sure if that's good luck or bad, but here, I figure you deserve a drink.
Thanks. What's this about the rooms?
Pull up. You aren't the first outsider to turn up looking for a place to stay after their ride off the island ended up at the bottom of the sea.
He pauses, fixing you with a considering eye.
Well, tell you what. I've got one room or two have been cleared out by now. Only the occupants decided to outstay his welcome. Real trouble is, he hasn't settled his bill. He's a merchant captain by the name of Galleon. I've given him a fair chance, but he's been a right prick about the whole thing. I've got a spare key here. You chase him and his pals off, and the room's yours. At a discount.
I'll see what I can do.
I appreciate it, truly. I'll have someone tidy the place up for you once you're through. Chances are they've spilled ale just about everywhere. I don't want the man dead, and that's not what I'm paying for. Just see him on his way and we'll call it done.
And real crack while we're at it. Jyoti does not particularly care for that skullduggery, irresponsibility, or being anti-religious. No siree. But she's a light-hearted pro-Aethasian who's very impassioned and worldly. And then we also see our standings with minor factions and later on the major factions as well. We haven't done really anything yet to truly bump up our dispositions. Yeah, and you can also see how the party members feel about one another as well.
I hear you.
Oh, we got some dialogue with Adair.
The children of the Dawn Stars. I wondered if we'd run into them down here. There's someone I used to know. Just an old friend. Came out here to settle with them last I heard. Maybe we should ask around. See if she's still out here. Might be she can help us.
Just a friend, huh?
Jyoti rubs the back of her neck, clearly uncomfortable. How did you know her?
Oh, well, both grew up in Gilded Vale, same temple.
Stare at Adair.
All right. We used to, you know. She was real loud, too. Used to have to cover her mouth or she'd get the dog howling in the next room.
Oh, God. Jyoti's face models bright red, but she turns away, hands covering her eyes. That's my favorite kind.
I knew you'd understand. You're gonna like her. I got a good feeling.
It's just the general key to everything. It's technically not stealing, so I'm going to take it.
How does it work? You inhale. It isn't complicated.
Okay.
Maybe I was wrong.
Hey.
Ah, a new face. You've heard, of course, that Norgund remains the most reliable and discreet supplier of mostly legitimate wares. Are you looking for something in particular?
Show me what you have for sale. Okay. That's used for respecking characters.
Nice and slow.
Thought I'd locked that thing.
The glassy-eyed gentleman before you bears the miserable expression of the recently sober. He also smells like he's been pickling in the cask for a few days.
The way doors work, right? And I realize this is complicated, is that you close them and then uninvited people stay on the other side. Try not to slam the door on your way out, yeah? My head's going to pieces.
I'm here for the rent.
Oh, you running Thorol's errands? Well, I haven't got his pay, and he knows it. Come back tomorrow. Better yet, tell him I'll swing by myself when I do have it.
They all said I could rough you up if I had
This
to.
has been real fun, but I think I've had enough of you now.
He straightens up, wobbling slightly on his feet, and brings up his fists. Beside him, a stocky Amawa woman does a much less showy job of settling into a ready stance.
That one hurt. Okay, look, we're done. All right?
He drops his weapon, presenting his empty
It's been
palms.
a hard week for all of us. Truth is, I've been seeing something like 3 of you for a while now, okay? It's all very fuzzy.
The dice demand blood. Attack! You're a mistake.
Will do.
Okay, so you can shift-click to Q. Good to know. Oh, here's tutorials. What was counters? Counter is an ability or effect that removes or prevents another category of effects when applied. There are 2 types of counters: inspirations and keywords. Inspirations are grouped by attribute and automatically counter or remove, or prevent the application of the corresponding group of afflictions from that attribute. Afflictions may also be used in the same way to remove inspirations. Keywords are descriptors like water, fire, and frost. The relationship between keywords is 2-way, so fire counters water and water counters fire. A character who is under the effect of Flame Shield with the fire keyword, an enemy hits them with an overwhelming wave that has the water keyword. The full effect of the overwhelming wave are negated and the Flame Shield is removed. Interesting.
Sure.
Let's go to the veranda real quick. Okay. And go back to the barkeep and, well, we kind of succeeded on his mission.
What in blazes is the matter with you? We heard screaming. I said clear the room, not murder everyone inside.
Sorry, I got carried away.
Carried away? You're lucky I don't call the guards.
Fine, keep the room. It's not my problem.
No, it's the problem of whatever poor bastard I pay to mop it up. Go on, get out of here.
Right.
You think it's smart, giving the Juan all these guns?
Why not?
Well, just... they might use them.
Okay, interesting. So she's actually already level 2.
On each other, most likely.
So, I know both Adair and myself, we had from level 1. So what I'm actually going to do, so we have a full slate for Jody that's
Still kicking, eh?
randomized,
What'll it be? Didn't think you had 2 copper pieces.
is have her respec. Oop. Yep. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I already have sleight of hands and mechanics for those 2. Explosives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, technically 7. Because I already have an insight and a survival. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Metaphysics. So she's going to be explosives and metaphysics. Then I have one of these to select. So I have 1, 2, 3 to choose from, it looks like. And that's going to be this one, Force of Anguish, which is a wound spender, which knocks the target back a significant distance and prones them. Okie dokie.
Yeah, I hear you.
Fresh fish! Race you to the coral. No contest. What? Just because you have webs and I can't swim? You are a strange man.
Most of the postings offer various goods for trade, or they spy at least one crude drawing of what may be the governor.
Ado, begging your pardon for the mess, miss. We are still recovering from the storm. We have supplies here for the paying customer. Provisions for the road, perhaps?
Let me see what you have.
Have a look.
Okay, so this is mainly ship supplies.
Yes? What is it I can do for you?
The watch commander looks up at you after her listless greetings, and you notice that she has a dark bruise around one eye. She grimaces, but does not turn away. I don't see many guards
We are
around.
stretched thin. The storm speaker did much to help, but much of the town has flooded. Now we are awash in homeless citizens and stranded merchants, to say nothing of the cultists out there.
Savina glances up at Jyoti, expression flat, but keeps silent.
Now I have Ilari's people making trouble up on Gorechi Street. His little gang is looting everything they can get their hands on, and the Bozzo kicks up his heels like a prince.
Lucky for you that I'm around. I humbly offer my services. Let me out and I will bring you this Ilari's teeth.
Shut it, Rigere. Something you wanted?
Okay. I could go speak to this Ilari.
I cannot say it would not be welcome, but you are only recently arrived, and not, I hear, by choice. Why do this?
I assumed I'd be paid.
Then you are an optimist. If I had all that much coin to throw around, I would have more recruits. In this case, you are right. You will have your fair wage. Gorechi Street is in the western part of town. Just walk until you hit water. We don't need a bloodbath. I'm sure there's a peaceful solution to resolve this. I'd appreciate your looking for it.
What happened to you?
What happened? I showed the drunken fool more patience and respect than he deserved, and he struck me without warning.
Sientere, Savia. You know that I was aiming for Darmo's pretty face.
How are things here in Port Maget?
We lost no one to the storm, but many homes have been damaged, and the people are terrified of this giant the scouts reported. It is chaos, pure and simple, but things might have been far worse.
Farewell.
Ado, stranger. Or is it captain? You have the carriage of a captain. A noble bearing all around.
The man in the cell wobbles slightly as he steps forward, fixing an eager smile and a glassy gaze upon you.
Capretta, you must free me. I am a creature of the sea. I am not meant for this dark place. I will dry and wither like a landed fish.
I could use you on my crew. What do you need me to do?
You see how fate has brought us together? The ice-hearted guard. She has set my fine at 400 pyres. I have... Now, I flounder here until the debt is paid.
What did you do to end up in there?
I did no one any harm. I am at the Kraken's eyes so often Thorol should pay me. I sample every bottle for quality. My loyalty has given him heirs. I would have paid what I owed in time. Had I the coin?
You walked out on a tab, Rigere. Nothing to boast of. And then you crawled up to the governor's estate, pissed on the steps, and resisted arrest.
Merla, I do not remember that at all. Right on the steps? I am sorry for the last. I tell you, Savia, I cannot help my magnificent reflexes. You were being very glad.
Do you know your way around a ship?
Do I know ships? She asks. I know every vessel on these waters. Everyone from the galleon to the... Every one of them, madam. You have enemies? These fists will drive them into the waiting arms of the sea goddess.
Any suggestions on how to get you out of there?
Prayer, mestre? To thaw the commander's heart? A joke, a joke. The gods themselves could not move her. A matter of coin. 400 beautiful coins. That or the key, yes? The door is the thing.
Ruggieri leans in to wrap his fingers around the bars of his cell, rattling them to no effect. He sets his forehead to the bar sign.
The commander, she guards the keys like a jealous wife. It would take steady hands to slip it from her pocket. That is, if you have need of keys at all.
He turns a finger in small circles by the lock and winks clumsily at you.
You think me idle to ask this of you and do nothing? I have scratched, madam, a little mortar from beneath the bars at the window at every chance. The stonework, it is very strong. I can do nothing by hand. With tools, perhaps. With explosives, for certain. Norgund, in the Kraken's eye, he carries many such useful items. All for legitimate use, of course. Animancers, they love explosives.
He raises his brows and grins toothily. Farewell.
Yeah, sure thing.
I'll deal with him later. Ah, interesting.
What marvelous carvings!
Oh, yes. This one is many centuries old. Blessed by Ngati herself.
Magnificent!
You have to do something. Any of us could be next.
Oh? I cannot imagine who might wish to harm you, Master. Per complanka. Don't tell me you're here to complain, too.
The guardsman covers his face with his hand, groaning.
The virus. Are they recruiting right off of the docks? You would think the Juana were storming the Kraken's Eye as we speak.
What's going on?
Right, Mestra. One of the Juana women attacked a merchant. He has come at the worst for it.
He jerks a thumb toward the nearby door.
Now every nationale in town wets himself in terror of losing his coin to the Amawa. We would bring in the thief, but Clario would not have us march into the village and defend Ikawa much longer, and I do not think any of us will have a choice in the matter. If you wanted the details of it, speak to Rinko himself. He will delight in telling you the tale.
Dharma makes a sharp, frustrated hand gesture and turns away. Take everything that is not nailed down.
Who's there? Tori, is that you? Wait, who are you?
The figure in the bed is a young Valian man. The first thing you notice is that he seems to have been severely beaten. One eye is nearly swollen shut, and where his skin is revealed it is a patchwork of livid bruises. He groans and winces as he props himself up, glaring at you with one good eye.
I know exactly how he feels. I've beat up a lot of folks just the same way.
Shorty nibbles on her lips to hide a spreading smile.
Come to laugh? Madiko, this would not have stood in Ozia.
In Ozia, there'd be a crowd in here to taunt you. Rico barks a short laugh and immediately winces. Thoughtfully, Jody rubs a knuckle along the edge of her jaw.
Maybe you are right. So you are visiting. What do you want?
What happened to you?
Iswana. They are an unreasonable people. I was enjoying a night of cards when one of them attacked me, out of nowhere. I had not spoken a word to her. The mad devil. Look what she did to me. My ear.
He turns his head, and you see that there's a scabbed over notch where a chunk of flesh has been torn away from his left ear.
When the fighting is over, she takes my coin purse and strides away. Bold as anything.
Yeah, your story's just the jewelry before a
I
fight.
was deep into my cups. It was not a fair contest to begin with. The governor lets the Juana do as they please, and this is the result. I should be out there, helping to find our people. My wife, Zenetta, she is out there, and I...
He gestures feebly with an arm, grimacing.
Listen, I am without other means. She took my coin purse, my wages. How am I to pay the governor? How am I to feed my son?
His already bruised, purpled face reddens further.
That woman should be in the stocks. Guards do nothing. But you've heard me out at least. Do me the kindness of retrieving that coin purse, and I will give you what I can spare.
I'll think about it.
They call her Mokea. I imagine she is back in her village, feeling proud of herself, no doubt. Follow the road as it bends north, then west. You can't miss it. A pile of sticks and straw.
With that, he sags back against the mattress, clearly exhausted.
Happy to oblige. Uh-huh.
Okay, head to the governor's mansion. I don't know what to make of these stories. A behemoth striding across the land?
Ah, yes, there you are. As governor and under the auspices of the Valiant Trading Company, please allow me to officially welcome you to Port March.
He spreads his hands in a subdued flourish.
I'd like to say the pleasure's all mine, but I try not to lie. Don't worry, I'm only here on account of her.
She bobs her head in your direction.
Of course. I see you've been as quick to involve yourself as ever.
Clario's tone is polite, but there's a strained edge to the wide smile as he turns from Jyoti to address you.
Apologies for that little drama outside. These are confusing times, and people often react poorly to uncertainty. Between the storm, the pirates, and the, well, certain strange events, we are all a little on edge.
I understand. You said you could help me.
Yes, your ship. You're stranded, are you? It was a rough landing by all reports. A wonder you survived. Unfortunately, our own ships are in no condition to sail. We've had dealings with the pirates ourselves. They've taken their share of supply ships. The storm saw to those berthed in the harbor. All that said, I believe I may have a solution, provided you're willing to help me in turn.
What could I do for you? I just got here.
Indeed. Which means I can spare you, whereas I cannot spare the guards. I have the guards on the lookout for pirate vessels looking to take advantage of whatever damage the storm caused. We've cannons enough to see them off, but I need every man ready to use them. There is a site of some considerable value elsewhere on the island. A value to the trading company, you understand. In point of fact, it's the very reason any of us are here. You're familiar with the luminous Adra trade?
I'm a watcher. I've dealt with Audra before.
Are you indeed? How very interesting.
For a moment, Claudio appears entirely distracted from his point, regarding you with an uncomfortably intense degree of interest.
Do you know, they'd have a great deal of interest in speaking with you at headquarters. Something to consider.
He finally breaks from his musings and flaps a hand to dismiss the subject.
Well, luminous Adra is to Adra what a fine wine is to, well, never mind that. The point is that it is a particularly potent material, suffused with essence, and it is only found right here in the Deadfire archipelago. It's also quite valuable. When refined, it sells for considerable sums. The trading company has invested a lot of time and money into locating sites suitable for mining and processing.
Wait, you mean you're trading in souls?
That's a colorful way of putting it. Energy, really, is more apt. It's not quite a matter of digging up the spirit of your old grandmother.
Clario lets out a short, breathy laugh, shaking his head slightly.
Spin it however you like. The gods are gonna grind your soul to bits for this sin.
We will have to agree to disagree. We, and I hope you understand that these matters require some discretion, have one such outpost on the other side of the island. A successful venture up until very recently. We sought to improve the refinement process. To that end, we hired some of the brightest minds in the field of animancy and brought them out here to lend their expertise. And then one evening, a storm rolls in out of nowhere, and my scouts begin to report that a giant has marched its way across the island towards my dig site. What am I to make of that? We haven't heard from Mestre Odorisi since, nor any of his assistants, or the workers. I must know what has happened. If Odorisi, if his work is lost, then everything that we have worked for is at risk. Which is where you come in. You need a ship, I need information. See to this for me, and I'll set half the town to work. We'll patch up your ship, and you'll be free to go on your way.
And if I find this Odorisi?
Why, take his report on the situation, and remind him that he's under certain contractual obligations. And relay my deep relief at his good health, of course.
Do you have any idea what might have happened?
I told you what happened, but you wouldn't listen to me. We could have prepared for this level of destruction. But what do I know? I'm just a priestess with prophetic dreams.
Clario's jaw tenses, but he otherwise ignores Joti's tirade.
The Huana storm speakers should have kept the worst of the weather at bay. I can't imagine what else might have happened. There are wild beasts on the island, but they wouldn't have attacked an active dig site.
Fine, if it gets me off this island.
Gillard, then we are agreed. I will assign men to keep watch over your ship. You will find the dig site on the eastern side of the island. I'll mark it on your map here.
You'll do it for the Watcher, but not for me? I see how it is.
With a discontented sound, she crosses her arms over her chest.
Yes. Why wouldn't I want a pack of dawn stars crawling over my Adra mine in search of their lost deity?
Clario darts a quick, sour look in Joti's direction.
One more thing. If you should recover Odorisi's notes, know that they would be of great value to me.
Okay, so let's level. So you are a sleight of hand in insight. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so that's 10, one-handed style, and we do have another point, so you have 9 to choose from. That's going to be 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have one-handed style, which is 20% of hits convert to crits with weapons when wielding just a single one-handed weapon. And Prayer for the Body grants target ally the fit inspiration for the extended duration. Okay, so like +5 constitution for a minute, so I'm pretty sure that's just like a good amount of hit points. Not too bad. We also get spiritual weapon automatically. Okay, she was our explosives and metaphysics. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3. That is Mortification of the Soul. The monk immediately inflicts raw damage on themselves to gain wounds. Okay. And then 1. Clarity of Agony. Through pain, the monk is able to cleanse their body, reducing the duration of incoming and existential hostile effects by half. Okay. And finally a dare. So there was our mechanics and survival. Okay. Okay, yeah, so he hasn't gone up power level just yet. So, low for fighter, high for rogue. That's 4 out of 6 for rogue. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 4. So that's going to be fast runner. Now, when the multi-classes get to their new power level, they get 1 in each class. Okay, so let's head out of town. So we're going to go through Gorechi Street. As you make your way along through the side streets of Port Maget, you come upon visible traces of the storm's passing. Many of the houses here boast cracked window panes and sagging awnings, and you pass narrow streets strewn with foliage and debris. The cobblestones beneath your feet are still slick with water and silt. Before long, you are ankle-deep in sucking mud and loose stones. The flooding only worsens up ahead, where the water level rises to the knees. Most of Port Maget's residents have fled this region for dry land, but the mum of raised voices ahead and the occasional splash suggest you are not entirely alone.
Let's take a look.
Cannonball! Don't let him leave. We can't have witnesses! That was saying. Okay. Actually, do a cone of flame. Oh, that was nice. 41 damage.
Hey. Sure.
Protective Aethosian Charm. Okay, so near death you get once per rest health over time, reduces incoming damage, and a straight +1 perception. So what's your perception? 12, 12, 14. So I'll actually put it on myself for now to give me a 15 perception.
What do you need?
Will do.
Well, don't see why not.
Something must be wrong with my vision. No matter how much I blink, I cannot make out more than blurry lights in the darkness. You are quite blinding.
What's the last thing you remember?
Pain. I came to help one of the traders gather her belongings. Then other men came. They struck me over and over. Is that why I cannot see?
Follow along if you must, just don't speak.
Kara, I will follow. You are hard to lose sight of.
The soul brushes up against you, too close for comfort. That reminds me. Okay. So we do have our quest.
Of course.
Sure.
Nothing but endless grime mist. This is not the afterlife I was promised.
Turns out there's a lot about that they don't tell you.
You seem to know where you are going.
The soul crosses ethereal arms over her chest.
Watcher, you're talking to a lost soul, aren't you? I'll just shine them the light real quick.
The lantern rattles as Jyoti swings it overzealously between you, siphoning in the spear's essence.
Huh? Mm-hmm. Huh?
Yeah?
What can I do you for?
Position folk for a fight, just in case.
Careful. One bad step out here and you drown, Mika.
The young elf's hand props to the pistol in his belt, palming the grip. The faintest hint of a sneer plays around his lips as he watches you, unblinking. What are you doing here?
See, this is my street. That doesn't change after a little rain. That's Storm Speaker. She didn't concern herself much with this place, did she?
He kicks out the water, splashing noisily.
Me and my gang, we keep the peace here, and the locals pay their dues. Nothing here now but what they left behind.
I'm not here to talk. Ilari brings up his pistol, lips curling back into a grimacing snarl. Oh, that's cool. The spiritual weapon is a sword-pistol combo. Cloak of Deflection, not bad.
I've got it.
Yeah?
Yeah, and that's all per encounter.
Yeah, right.
So yeah, this game really incentivizes you to just use your abilities.
A mirror's winds blow sweet upon you.
The Amal woman steps sideways, angling herself towards you and meets your gaze with an intense stare.
I do not know you.
Her voice is quiet, but each word is clipped and
You were
harsh.
looking for Kawa?
I heard you like picking on people smaller than you! Makura blinks slowly, and her stony expression unchanged. After a few heartbeats, her frown deepens to an impressive scowl.
The Valian. He offers you coin and you come to fight his battles for him.
Oh, I mean, I'm a mercenary. She spits onto the ground between
I
you.
will tell that skinny little cheat to send the gold to your family.
Last warning, I won't go down as easily as Rinko. Every trace of contemptuous amusement vanishes at once from Okea's face.
You come to our territory under the Elder's Eye to threaten us? When you are dead, I will throw your carcass to the sharks.
Okay. This is new. Okay.
That order's too... Hey. bastards. That order's too tall.
All things must come to an end.
Let's go.
Even me.
I need some help here.
What?
Okay, Jerry's down.
We had some good times.
Oh, interesting. She's a druid.
I need some help.
Take him down.
Huh?
Yes, his second chance when he gets back up. Okay, reload our autosave. Seated upon a chair before the bonfire, Ikawi looks considerably more comfortable here in her home village. She prods absently at the coals with a long stick. Irakai's lined face is pocked with fading scars, but there's no hostility in her calm appraisal as you
They
approach.
told me what became of your ship. I say again that you are lucky. It is the only ship that survives. I could protect Port Mage, or else its ships, but not both. Perhaps Clario thinks I chose poorly.
I guess you and the governor don't really get along.
Better than it may seem. Clario can be reasoned with, especially if one approaches him with coin in their pocket. He is not a cruel man. I suspect he might even enjoy life on the island if he were free of his masters.
It doesn't look like the storm did much damage here.
To a storm speaker, the storm is a friend, gentled by a word. And Satahuzi is blessed with several storm speakers. We were able to shield the village from much of the weather. Some of it is mere luck. Most of our canoes were here by the shore. We did lose one of our voyagers. It will take some work to replace it.
Okea is causing trouble in town. Ikawa sighs deeply and folds her hands in her lap.
Mokeha is proud, like her father. Each day this alliance tests her patience. What has happened?
Is she your daughter?
She shares my blood, my caste, my temper. But she is a daughter of the tribe. It is different among our people.
I just need her to return what she stole.
Mokeha is no thief. She has all she needs here. What need has she to steal?
Ikawa's tone does not break
The
argument.
Valians must be mistaken. Speak with her. You will see.
Never mind.
Don't worry. The vision's past.
I do not know. You were looking for Kawa?
Okay.
The Valian. I will tell that skinny little cheat to send the gold to your family.
Let's try something different this time. Why don't you tell me what really happened?
What else? The Valians are fools. But Akawa wishes to trade, so we must be patient. We must save them from Nagati's storms, even when they ignore our advice. Ikawa told me I should see the tavern, speak with their people, learn patience. The trader Eophania, she taught me to play Valian cards. A simple game, but none would play with me in the tavern. Not until Ringo. I thought him kind, until I proved the victor, and he grew angry. Until he stood in front of his kin and called me a Mataru of Satahuzi, a filthy islander and a cheat. For that, yes, I beat him. Why does this concern you?
Keep the coin purse. Ringo got what he deserved.
I did not expect this.
Okea gives you a considering
In
look.
truth, I do not have much use for it. Perhaps Akawa will use the coin. May Amira's winds blow sweet upon you, stranger.
Don't see why not.
So normally I would not change tax, but yeah, we physically can't take out the village with our party. So I'm like, I'm not gonna just bang my head into it over and over.
Fancy a look at the wares, my friend? Best good.
Okay, so she has mainly just basic stuff. Okay, so let's leave town. Burial sites. Search the location. And then we're going to head east here. Okay, we do have a combat encounter here. Thick woodland spreads to the east of Port Marhe, slowing your travel. Birds flitter above you and insects drone incessantly. The path eventually gives way to a game trail, then to no path at all. You find a curiously marked tree, the bark gorged away in a pattern. The striations seem to run upward from right to left, just shy of vertical. Examine the markings. Wild boar did this. A detached tree. Look at this. The sigil has been lightly carved into the wood, so faint as to be almost imperceptible. You press carefully into the forest, your clothes damp with humidity and the water dripping from the trees above. A quiet rustling in the underbrush draws your attention northward, deep into the forest. Hide in the undergrowth. You duck silently behind a log and Jody falls behind, only to lean against a branch that breaks free of the trunk with a loud snap. The sound approaches, and a tall Amora appears through the vegetation. Matted red hair frames his head, while boar hides drape his form. Stranger still, several wild boars attend him, their hackles up as they snort at you. Adira perks up at the sight of the boars, alternately imitating the grunts and chuckling. Only at length, in what appears to be a heel-dragged afterthought, does his attention at last turn to the strange man in their midst. Dirt darkens the folds of the man's skin. His lips curl over jagged...
Never talk.
Oh, sorry.
Just go. Leave this forest. Go leave these islands. Go return from where you've been.
I came here looking for you. The people on the coast said you could help me.
They always think they know better than this kith in this wood. Then when they need help, they always go ask me.
Jody puffs out a heated breath.
You go. Speak quickly then. Your words disturb this place.
So about those boars of yours. Oh god. Could I get some pork, please?
Kara, what foolishness. No, never.
Interesting. I'd like a boar of my own. Don't suppose you got one to spare?
Not mine to give, nor yours to take. You want a boar, friend. You go make your own.
I'm taking the boars with me. At least the edible bits.
I say I am not surprised. Your sort always take.
Move her into flank position. If you do a knockdown, if you speed up. Okay. Alrighty. And then just focus fire on the rest of the boars. I mean, I say focus fire, but apparently they're just going to do whatever. She's doing her heal. Good.
Take him down.
Gibbed.
Yeah. On it.
That's +1 intellect. Which is actually really good for my area of effects.
That's some. Sure.
Oh, battleground, search that. Smart crackers. Fine warbow. Okay, this is a rice farm where you can buy some stuff. Footprints. Wakahura Pass. The trail before you seems thoroughly disturbed by erratic tracks. The sparse plants to the immediate sides of the path roughly mangled. A struggle may have occurred here. Search the area. The deer makes sense of the chaos within moments. No blood splatter suggests it was not a fight, and your compatriot easily identifies the clawed prints of Zorops. The tracks seem recent. A dry and ropey vine has been pulled taut across the path and inexpertly covered in the dirt. Disarm the trap. Beyond, a group of robed figures cringe and cower at a nearby river's bend. Each is frozen in place, ashen and gray, like statues carved of soot. The idea currently disarms the trap and collects its components apart. Search for the Zorops. You hear a series of quivering chirps and growls ahead, and make out the move from a small form through the undergrowth. Draw your weapons and attack. Okay, so that looks like it's either going to be a champion or a just a skirmisher, or maybe just a standard fighter. Clarence, switch back to the gun.
That hardly seems fair.
Flanked.
Let's go.
Yeah? Sure.
These, of course, are
Not sure I can. Happy to oblige.
folk who've had their souls ripped out. And to the dig site. Okay, another level up. So we got mechanics, we got survival. Okay, so we get one for each class. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 here for the fighter class. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is weapon and shield style. Alrighty. This one is actually really good. Into the fray. And then fighter stances. That's always nice to have, but we'll see if we get it. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the rogue tree. 5. One-handed style. Okay. Would be nice to get that. But so goes life. Okay, and then for proficiency, it's going to be in the bow category. And it's going to be the warbow. Jyoti. She's our explosives metaphysics. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're already 8. That is a 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think that's 2-weapon style. Yep. No, 2-handed style, yeah. Oh well. And her new proficiency is going to be in firearms. And it's going to be blunderbuss. And then for Clarence. Okay, yeah, that doesn't do the change. So Clarence was sleight of hand and insight. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose from. That's going to be 8, which is 2-weapon style. Actually, that does sync with spiritual weapon, though, so that's not too bad. And then we have a magical implement as a proficiency, and it's going to be the... So that's rod? Yeah, that's rod. Yeah, there's rod, scepter, and wand.
What can I do? All right. Watch your weight.
Jyoti bends double, hands resting on her knees before she wipes sweat from her brow. Huffing to catch her breath, she glances up to you with a bright smile. You've gained item golden soul. The item was put into your stash.
Spare me a minute. I'd like to perform a last rite for these poorly departed souls.
She reaches for the lantern on her
Please,
hip.
Watcher. Without my guidance, they might have a hard time finding the light.
We don't have time for this. She sweeps a hand to indicate the area, a severe frown croaking her
It's
lips.
why I came here. I serve my duty to my god because I answer to Gone.
You can't reap any souls here. They're trapped inside Aethys.
Like a rabbit in a snare?
She taps 3 stars across her brow, a sign of her fear.
Sakes alive, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would Gone, an aspect of the god of rebirth, keep souls from the cycle?
I'm sorry, but it's true. She sighs, melting into your touch. Tension eases from her shoulders, and she closes her eyes, face tilted toward the
I
sky.
don't see how that can be right, but I suppose we'll find out soon enough. If there's no souls here, well,
She bites at her bottom lip.
it's best we get a move on then.
She takes a few steps, but then stops short, head
But
shaking.
to be safe, I ought to give the lantern a real fast whirl.
This here's a final call for all souls. Last stop for the lost. Gather round now. I'll cut you loose and haul you into the light.
Swinging the lantern faster and faster, Jyoti plants her thighs wide and then thrusts her arm up high overhead. The lantern rattles in her grip, and the light flares from within flares blindingly bright. In the silence of your held breath, it almost seems like a soul should sift up from one of the corpses, quivering in the air before siphoning the lantern's fading brilliance. But the ashen bodies are bereft of souls, so in the end, Jyoti's life fades without acquiring anything. You got one! She beams with your bright smile, her cheeks smudged with mud.
It's my honored duty to reap and shepherd departed souls during their journey to being reborn. With Aethys dead, me and the other reapers gotta gather as many souls as we can. We'll keep them safe until Gone returns to hell and can take them into his divine embrace.
Hell is the colloquial term used for the beyond in Adir, the deer word in Raid Saris. 1L. Rub the dirt from her cheek. A blush spreads hot beneath your thumb and Zodi glances away, no longer able to meet your gaze, but her lips curve into a pleased smile.
Lost souls. And here.
She taps the metal frame of her lantern.
And that's all I care to say for now. Let's go.
She nods before setting off.
Keeping an eye out.
Just gonna explore around.
I've got it.
Use the ladder.
Ready to brawl?
Ooh, worm.
Smart, stone it.
Ooh, it enrages.
Take him down.
Uh-huh.
Read the journal page. Whatever Odressi did to the last batch, it's working. We're seeing multiple higher concentrations of essence in the harvested Audra. I only wish he'd let the rest of us in on his methods. One of our Juana workers got the jolt of his life transporting one of the crates, and that's on top of the one that got blinded last week. All Odressi has to say for himself is that they were careless. I'm the one paying these Islanders' families out of my own pocket. At this rate, I'm going to be the one idiot who comes out of this whole enterprise with less money than I started.
Will do.
Looking at all right.
Looks like trouble.
Let's go.
Young Panther.
Time to separate the chaff.
Huh?
Gibbed. Okay. Several men and women appear to be locked inside a cage of some kind. There's little more than silhouettes behind the glass, pointing and gesturing excitedly.
You out there? Are the beasts gone?
I took care of the creatures. The woman turns away to have a muffled exchange with the others. Then she pulls out something by the door, and you hear a rattling clank.
Perfetto! We are saved!
A youngish man with bright eyes and a twitching smile claps his hands in joy as he steps out of the cage. The woman next to him, however, remains sober.
Me and the Watcher? We're always happy to help.
She beams at you, eyes filled with pride.
Governor Clario must have sent you to rescue us, no? But you do not look like one of his guards.
She rises on the ball of her heel of her feet and peers behind you, as if searching for someone else. She looks to be only midway into her 30s, though the serious set of her mouth makes her seem older. I'm looking for a friend, tall, glowing, made of Vadra. Maybe you've seen him. An older woman hawks an impressive gob of phlegm onto the ground and kicks a clump of dirt over it.
I told you the governor does not care about us. This is all about profit. For him, the rest of the Valiant.
Caloste!
She silences the others with a sharp look. She turns back to you with a resigned breath.
You are here, and that is what matters.
Where is Odressi? The animancers look at one another.
Still in the ruins, we think.
She grimaces, her gaze darting to her toes. I should go
Most
look.
of the ruins are that way, through the door next to the ramp.
She points to a dark entrance in the eastern wall of the arena.
If you are going below, you should take Engfirth with you.
She turns and motions to someone to the front of the group.
Hey, he looks just like...
Adair cuts himself off for reasons not yet apparent, his jaw hangs slack. A sharp-featured elf comes to the fore. As he meets your eyes, he gives you a knowing nod. He's earned a few new scars, but you recognize Aloth Corficer all the same. He taps a finger to his lips, a sly smile working its way across them.
Knows a great many spells. At first, he even cast fire to chase away the panthers.
Until the flames nearly caught one of the tents.
You're making a really great case for Engfirth.
Outside of this cage, his skills would be a boon. I do not expect the ruins will be any safer. Many of our people remained behind, which has surely attracted more wildlife. It would be prudent to take help, as long as Engfirth is willing to go.
She looks quickly to Aloth. He nods.
I would be happy to assist.
I'll gladly accept his help. He gives you a quick
Be
smile.
careful. I'm Miko.
She gives Aloth's hand a quick squeeze before backing away. Aloth nods at her before leading you a short distance away.
For your discretion. I'm certain you have many questions, but I fear they must wait until we're off this island.
He casts a regretful glance back at Vanessa and the Animancers. At least tell me what you've been up doing here.
That's a rather long story. The short version, for now, is that I'm gathering information on local animancy operations.
He looks you up and down.
But I could ask you the same.
Aoth has destroyed my keep, killed most of my people here, and nearly killed me. I'll answer for it.
Well, there's never a dull moment with you. We can speak more freely once we're away from Port Mage. For now, let us find Odorisi.
Okay, so let's roll for Aloth. Okay, so he's going to be a Spellblade, Wizard Rogue.
Oh?
And once we do get back to town after this adventure, I will respec him. But for now, we'll just take him as is. So as is, what does he have?
Oh?
Crippling Strike, Escape. And... oh yeah, now he is a wizard, so he does have his Grimoire spells as well, which work a bit differently in this game. Yeah, like it's 2 each level. I get added on.
How may I help?
After the dust settled in Sun and Shadow, Aloth looked upon the remains of Theos Ex Arcanon, his former master. He saw where the Grand Master had gone wrong and what would be required to undo the harm Theos had wrought. With a flick of his wrist, he burned Theos' robe, headdress, and every other symbol of the man's power. Never again, he vowed, should Kith live in fear and blind obedience to an authority they did not understand. Armed with the knowledge and courage he had gained on his journeys with the Watcher, he set out on the long and lonely task of dismantling the Leaden Key. To that end, he crafted this iron scepter, with which he would combat the agents of ignorance and fear. And can frighten Kith on a critical hit. I will give him this, because he actually does have a higher perception. So he gets this perception.
Aye.
And he is dutiful, likes autonomy, dislikes pride, dislikes tradition, and dislikes irresponsibility.
Yes?
Okay. Let's do some exploration.
I've got it.
Actually, in the spirit of the run, I actually am going to head back to town and respec Aeloth before we do anything else.
Will do.
We can do known locations, Port Mage, and just do an auto travel there.
Still kicking, eh? It's slim pick.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 to choose from there. Okay, he's going to be our athletics man. Of course, our athletic wizard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Minus 3, so 6. And bluff. So athletics and bluff. Okay. Low for rogue, high for wizard. Wizard. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One. That's going to be the Dazzling Lights, I think. Yep. Which is dazed. And it looks like he already came preloaded with minor missiles, which... Good choice there, game, giving you that by default. Okay, so he's athletics. Bluff. Okay. That's going to be a wizard one and one. Okay, again, we have 11, so just roll the d12. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is Sunless Grass, basically just chill hand. Then Athletics Bluff. And then 1 for each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3. 2 Weapon Style. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So roll the d20. 16. So two-handed style. So many passives. Okay. Oh, he's gonna get proficiency in a shield. And with just, yeah, basic medium shields. Wow. That's great for a rogue wizard. Yep, totally. So while we're here, I am going to turn in those quests for the guard in Varinko.
It's not right. I came here on the first ship. Why does an islander get paid the same as I?
Here you find civilization. That is,
Let's see what you got. A whole bunch of basic stuff. Trashy ink pad. Oh yeah, and the way enchantment works in this one is each one actually is unique. So you can always just do its like just your more pluses. But there's like also unique ones that you can go down. Like Revolution Mesotheists, Reject the Wheel. Mesotheists, combat only. Reject the Power of the Gods, or grants party a chance to reflect punishment and condemnation attacks, which are priest keywords. And then Reject the Wheel is +10 defenses except deflection for nearby allies after scoring kill with Keybreaker. Like Jody's Lantern has a few interesting ones. Sickle can also like go to Finality or Urgent Harvest. Yeah. And the Saint's War Armor can also get upgraded as well. Physical Belt. Hood. Okay.
Whining about it.
But let's see the guard captain.
Keeping out of trouble? A little jest. What is it?
Ilari's dead, he won't give you any trouble.
Madiko. I hoped Ilari might be of use. The people knew him, respected him. He would have been trouble in the end, but no need to have hurried that along. Well, here you are, for your time. If I had 10 women like you, the whole of Port Maja would be set right within the week.
And let's see if we want to talk to the guard or do some skullduggery for this gent. Low talk, high skullduggery. Ooh, we rolled a 6, so that's going to be some skullduggery. Now, I'm going to put a save in here because I don't know.
Yeah?
I've never done this before, so I don't know how it's going to go.
Well, as long as I don't get caught.
Okay, yeah, that would cause us to fight her, which I'd rather not do. Because I'd like to do skullduggery, but not necessarily fight her.
Hey.
So I do know I saw her go back that way. but I can also check the exterior of the building as well. Because normally I just pay him off, but never done this before. Oh, there's a guard here too.
Let's take a look.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Yeah, should we go there? Huh. Oh.
What can I do you? Happy to oblige. Happy to oblige.
Okay. Wait for him to move again. Okay.
What can I do you for?
Come on, move it.
Dim in the lantern.
Okay. So maybe it's something I have to actually go, like, talk to him about. Like, either give him tools or explosivos.
Amica, is it conscience or simple reason that I didn't know what you were. Mela, do I know
Interesting.
Nice and quiet.
So I do know when I first entered here, she was walking around. So let's see if she does everything. Yeah, because I can't pickpocket while being observed.
How may I shall?
Huh?
Yeah, but I can't get to her time to not be observed.
Hey. Uh-huh.
Give me a moment. No, I'm not going to look this up. I'll try something.
Keeping out of trouble. A little jest.
Yeah, sure.
Amica, is it...
Check my journal. Oh, I might actually have to talk to Norgund first to, like, do a event flag or something. Let's try that. There might be an event flag.
Welcome back. Are you looking for something?
Is
I
it
am an
legitimate?
honest merchant, madam, but I confess that the tools I supply have an
Okay, so nothing particularly. There's some cinder bombs. And Maya's actually well buy lockpicks anyways.
Good, right? Worth a pretty penny.
Every pit.
Well, don't see why not.
The Juana ought to keep to themselves.
Fresh fish!
Steady does it.
Uh-huh.
No idea if this is anywhere near the correct thing to do, but... Ooh!
What can I hear you.
Oh, okay. Might as well go see Rinko as well, see if there's anything else we can get from him. Even though, you know, we said he deserved it.
Come to play nursemaid? There's nothing for it but rest. I'll be fit soon enough. What's this about?
I decided to let Mokea keep your money.
Matiko, why? I thought we had an agreement.
You lied to me! The money is hers by right!
How dare you? To hell with both of you! Get out of my house!
And I think... yeah, I've definitely picked up some passionate, which is disfavored. Vehicle may have clever and some aggressive, so on the whole I'm on the positive side, but still. Because the one it affects is this. Yep. Yeah, it deals burn damage and applying shaken to any vessels of the vicinity while rejecting a regenerated moss amount of health for allies. Power of priest's holy radiance is modified by how well their reputations align with the preferred behaviors of their faith. Okay, so let's head back to the Ingwith dig site after that. Come on, game, you can do it. Okay, Ingwith dig site. Speed it up. Okie dokie. So let's actually start at the ancient training hall and then kind of work our way down, as it were. Pretty sure Luminous Audra Pool is the last place we're going to go.
Worth a look?
The statue bears elaborate detail from the buckles of the warrior's greaves to his curly locks.
Tread cautiously.
It's not.
Yep. Oh yeah, and traps in this one just give you an automatic injury. That's right. Second wind fades.
Take him down.
Lava beyond
Almost. Got it. Sure. Let's go.
lava beyond seek.
No good.
How? Yeah, they all have lingering frailty. Ugh. That's actually kind of nasty.
Keeping quiet.
Got lots of accuracy. I'm actually gonna change out. Yeah. Should give that to a dare. Take this ring as well.
Huh? Sure.
What do you suppose that belly thing is?
Isilmir.
Got it.
Deserted cat? We must help it. Gosha. +1 perception, and a party-wide effect is that enemy weapon attacks are less likely to crit your party. Well, come on, little Gosha. Oh yeah, and another thing that you can just switch whether you want helmets or not quite easily. It's quite neat. You can also toggle whether the pet is shown following you. Ferris, take this coin out to the Wana village and see if you can round up anyone willing to do a week's digging for pay. Try the low caste types first, the Raparu. They're used to hard work and they don't ask for more than their share. Let's head up these steps first.
Will do.
Okay. So let's go into the foreman's quarters.
I'll see what I can find.
Beetles.
Well, as long as I don't get caught. I guess that wasn't so hard.
Champion's medallion. The small Aldra disc was apparently to be worn as a medallion. One side of the disc depicts a figure with its arms raised triumphantly above its head, a blade in one hand, and a shield in the other. The other side of the disc has been worn smooth through time is unreadable. Note to Foreman. One of the workers dug up this old Aldra medallion in the sub-level yesterday. I doubt Oderesi would be interested in it, and besides, it looks like it's worth something. Might be a nice surprise to surprise the crew with a bonus. A secret beetle? Sacre. Right, earlier flame combustion wounds.
Sure.
Okay, let's go to the arena sub-level.
Slow.
That all champions pay homage to Exandros, for without him there would be no glory. The copper bowl has tarnished a dull blue-green. Grime and dust coat the surface in a thin film. Examine the bowl more closely. At the bottom of the bowl is a shallow circular depression. You recognize the offering bowl, an artifact found in many Ingwithan ruins. It might have been intended for use by Ingwithans who held high rank or had made some great achievement. In an arena such as this, a champion might fulfill that role. Place the champion's medallion into the depression. Alrighty. Okay. Amulet of Health, plus 15 max health, Adraban, and some gems. Let's actually give the Medallion of Health to Adair. Oh, no, he already has a thing. Yeah, might as well keep it on him. Let's instead give this the Jyoti.
Oh, right. On it.
Here rests Exandrios' most virtuous architect.
Poor fools. They were unprepared for this.
Ooh, a Priber.
Will do.
All that remains of the inscription is Raka the Fortunate. The stone around it is worn smooth. Part of the statue near the lakes have been forcibly removed. Praised to be bold-hearted Everest, master of the blade. In memory of Sama, beloved sister, I give the statue. Only the bold, the reckless, and the fortunate shall pass safely within. Okay. Brine Imp.
Will do.
Well, as long as I don't get caught. I guess that wasn't so hard.
Flying dagger, grappling hook, peridot, nice.
Would you suppose it's...
Okay, yeah, so you don't need to be in stealth mode to see stuff in this one. Larvae. Cluster of writhing larvae, blind and hungry. They move instinctively towards any source of food. Ingredient. Tattered note. I wasn't sure about the constructs at first. These new techniques may be less extreme than those of eccentrics like Galvino, but it gets harder to remember that once the hulking things are moving around like large, noisy wireless dolls. The constructs require daily maintenance, and they make the workers uncomfortable. Still, they've been an effective deterrent to the local wildlife, and I have to admit I've started to feel safer with one of them standing nearby while I work. Odoresi despises the things, and avoids them if possible. That alone is a considerable benefit.
Keeping quiet.
Whoa, look.
A will-o'-the-wisp. And sporlings.
something to put a little pep in my
Resists
step.
intellect afflictions and has dominating spurs.
Smart, don't it?
Yeah, it has decent armor.
Huh? Right.
The balls have been collapsed inward, barring any further progress. Okay, this just loops back.
I see trouble.
Another will-o'-the-wisp.
Yeah? Sure. Will do.
The season of harvest is here. Take him down.
Fail touch? Not sure what that means.
That's Odorisi.
Frozen mid-stride, this grim figure is turning toward the colossal pillar of Audra that dominates the chamber. The ashen corpse's outstretched hand rests upon the crystal's dull surface. Clutched tightly in the remnants of a fist is a bundle of papers bound together by a leather cord. Several more pages are scattered on the ground at your feet.
This one's ashen. Means he ain't got no soul for me to tend to, right?
As you pull the papers free, the ashen fingers gripping them slough away, disintegrating into a fine plume of dust. You have gained Odorisi's notes. Odorisi's notes, acquired from his corpse, are a dense collection of jargon and diagrams. They allude to mechanical and chemical processes used to treat Ardra, which is, well, it is refined into powder. These notes would doubtless be of interest to those working directly with luminous Ardra. Standing here by the lone figure, you are struck with a feeling of dread. The air around you, the very motes of ash and dust, all of it is stagnant and still. The feeling grows worse when you look up at the Ardra and sense no energy flowing into its surface. It's as if it has been disconnected from the wheel.
You place your hand against the pillar of luminous Audra. A dim, warm light emanates from the surface, but it feels cool to the touch. Pinpricks dance along your fingers, uncomfortable, but not painful. A woman's voice, scratchy, distant, and halting, echoes in your mind.
Find your soul in him.
You concentrate, peering into the Audra's energy as you would peer into a soul. Its inner light is blinding, but as you become accustomed to it, you perceive the core of the Audra itself, a churning mass of millions of soul fragments. With a jolt, the energy reaches out to you, within ruined fragments around you, breaking into incoherent shapes and dissolving to dust, falling into an infinite well of dark gray vapor. Even the ground itself disintegrates into nothingness. All that remains is the murky expanse of the in-between. The Audra pillar, and a skein of golden threads rooted in the pillar that extend far off into the distance. You focus on the threads. You catch glimpses of memories, your memories, mingled among the memories of thousands of other captive souls. The filaments begin to cohere, rapidly twining into a golden cord. With a muffled crack, the cord ripples outward in a violent wave toward the endless distance. The cord undulates over a space so vast that you lose sight of the wave before it finds its end. Then, a heavy creaking, like the sound of mountains shearing under their own weight, washes through the dull gloom of the in-between. A violent force yanks you along the cord at an incredible speed. The murk of the in-between warps erratically, as though you are observing it through an ill-ground lens. Just as quickly as you were pulled forward, you stop, suspended below a massive figure of ancient carved Audra. Like all Audra, it glimmers with energy, but the souls and memories within it are not flowing down. They churn in a vortex that burns at the heart of the statue's mass in some invisible engine. It is Aethys. The great golden cord terminates in his back, sending pulses of energy throughout his limbs as they move. He walks in long, slow strides toward a brilliant pillar of Audra far in the distance. It shines even more brightly in the in-between than Aethys. From within the teeming throng of souls, dozens of eyes look out to you. Through the cord, their collective anguish and despair push at the edge of your mind.
Help us! Please! Help us!
Their voices echo in your mind. Somewhere within their ranks, you can feel the presence of your own soul, slumbering deeper in the gyre.
Reach out to the lost souls.
You reach out to the lost souls, but the incredible power flowing through Aethys' body repulses you. Not even your Watcher powers can penetrate the massive tides of energy crashing through him. The souls sense your efforts and attempt to breach the surface of Aethys' body, but are instantly pulled back down into the deep well of the statue's heart, as though they were pried from the edge of a great precipice. Aethys' stride slows and stops. His head slowly pivots, until its great burning eyes are cast back along the cord. As his gaze meets yours, you feel an overwhelming rush of incredible joy, mingled with profound sadness. You have sensed similar anguish in lost souls, but never with this intensity. A soothing voice drifts into your mind.
It takes great bravery to venture through the in-between, even for a Watcher.
A swell of admiration radiates out from the god's heart, a force so intense that it momentarily overwhelms you.
You do not need to follow me, for their sake or your own. Something beautiful is coming. Something that will save us all.
A great light shines from Aethys' brow, so bright that even the souls within him flinch from the source, cowering in fear. Through the glare, you see Aethys' massive arm reach up to grasp the golden cord. The tether, carrying energy from the Audra pillar to him, that also suspends your consciousness.
What does that mean?
The sun will yet rise, Watcher. You need only wait for its light to come.
Aethys yanks on the golden cord, pulling it from his back. The cord tears into filaments that blacken and dissolve to dust. Without pause, he turns to resume his stride toward the distant pillar of Audra, shining on the boundless horizon. You hear the souls within him cry out for just a moment, before your consciousness is snapped away from them. The in-between goes dark. For a second, you feel a mix of nausea and a sensation like spinning and falling. Then the moment ends. Your consciousness has returned to the Angwithan arena. The world is sideways, the Audra pillar upside down. You flinch at the feeling that you're standing on the ceiling. The disorientation overwhelms you and you collapse to your knees next to the luminous Audra pillar. Previously dim and flickering, the pillar now glows with a strong and steady light. You touch the Audra again, but the chill and prickling sensations you felt before are gone, replaced with a comforting warmth, like the embers of a fire that has just lost its flame.
As you return to the world, you feel a hand on your back.
You all right? Come on, we just got got your back.
Yeah.
I heard you say that before. Had something to do with a 2,000-year-old lunatic talking to you in your dreams.
I've seen you commune with souls of the dead, but this looked altogether different. What happened?
I saw Aothos, and he saw me.
Well, he... Really? I knew it. I mean, that's great, Watcher. Ain't it?
Jyoti can barely contain herself, jumping up and down as she stumbles over her words.
What did Gon say? Is he gonna meet us? What do we do next? He charged you with a divine calling, didn't he? Just like he's done for me.
He was headed toward another pillar of luminous Audra.
How hard can it be to find in a chain of thousands of islands?
I wonder what he's after, and why he's been giving me these dreams. The things I've seen, they leave a mark on your soul.
She rubs her arms despite the balmy air.
I may not know what Gon's got planned for me, but clearly he wanted me to meet you.
Okay. So let's continue exploring through the rest of these ruins. More brine imps. A salty little devil. It has been a stroke of an unimaginable fortune to find an Audra vein in such pristine condition. The essence is so concentrated here that, even from the far side of the corridor, the pillar's light pulses like a star. At times I almost feel as if I can sense it, like the warmth of sunlight upon the skin. We will need to reinforce the central chamber before attempting further excavations. The ruins are unstable, and Sella's motley workforce of savages and paupers grows more fearful by the day. With the assistance of a single watcher, we could trace the essence in the primary vein, and isolate those deposits worthy of extraction. I petitioned Director Kostrel of Nakataka for such a resource, but I am continually rebuffed. It is unthinkable that the Valian Trading Company cannot isolate, within the vast borders of its considerable influence, a single suitable candidate. I must assume that the wretched Alente woman is hoarding them for her fanciful experiments, transportation, as if we have the time to expend on such frivolities. Moss and grime have scraped clear the large portions of this mural, revealing the vibrant hues of the Engwithan figures beneath. Doro the Reckless defeated 7 beasts bare-handed. So that's the sign of the Reckless. So it's the bold, the reckless, and the fortunate we need for this door.
Looks like trouble.
Take him down.
Ooh, constructs. Yeah, these guys are immune to fire. Weak to lightning, though. So I move Aloth up. Have him use Shocking Touch. And he rolled quite low. So goes life. Try to knock it prone so Aloth can get out of there. Good.
No one noticed that, right?
Let's go.
Have her move to flank position.
Happy to oblige. I hear you.
Okay, yeah, so he's bold. She was fortunate, and then the other guy was reckless.
On it.
Light the brazier with a torch. Light the brazier with a torch. Okay.
Well, after you.
So
What do you need?
that was the mark of the fortunate. I think. Okay.
Yes, indeed.
That looks like the bolt. And then, okay, that kind of tower. Yep, and that turned off the flames. And we get Gladiator Sword. Fine. It's -1 to penetration, but it does grant Scrim. +10 melee damage when wielded with a shield, and +5 deflection. And for its enchanted, we can get Sharpened Blade, which we can actually do right now, which removes the -1 penetration, gives it a +1 penetration. And we can actually give that to Adair.
Hey,
Okay, and then let's go to that luminous Audra pool, see what was there. Then go back to the rest of the expedition and inform them that their overseer is dead. As the souls move past you, some turn their heads in your direction, but most seem fixated below you, on the Audra pillow beneath your feet. A few nod their heads in thanks or raise a hand to acknowledge your presence.
What do you see that I can't, Watcher?
Souls, dozens of them, maybe hundreds, they're all going to the Audra pillow.
Really?
She strokes the cage of her lantern, appearing lost in thought. A small group of souls has started to cluster around you. One of them is standing a bit closer than the others and gestures for your attention.
Watcher, we'd like to come with you.
Of course, I'll protect you.
You have our thanks. We appreciate that you showed us the way to the Audra. But what if it goes dark, before we reach the beyond?
The other souls around her nod in agreement.
Can I harvest the souls now?
Yes, of course.
Thank you for aiding my mission, Watcher. I just knew you'd help me if I followed you.
Jyoti glides her hands in a series of motions that resemble a martial art or an intricate dance. As she slides a circle around the area, she begins swinging her lantern faster and farther from her body until an ephemeral light flares from inside. The lure is answered, and several souls change course, drifting past the lantern's cage to disappear.
Thank you, Watcher.
Hey, sure.
Okay, let's talk to her.
Wait in my lantern now. Almost feel like I can hear the soul when I jostle it around. With every soul, my lantern's getting heavier and heavier in my hand.
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any recent nightmares?
I did, recently with you. You were walking the depths of the ocean, but you didn't drown. And in your hand, you gripped the key to Aora's end.
Her face alights with a fierceness.
I've seen stars wreathing a statue's brow, and souls flowing like tears over gleaming Audra. And then my god headed into the heart of the storm, where he could find the darkness. Tell me what's on your mind?
That's all for now.
I'll be 2 whoops and a holler away.
More brain imps.
That's it.
Yes?
Actually, come to think of it, I really should be doing the flank because I have Adira as a rogue and Aloth who's also a rogue.
How may I help? Indeed.
So I think both of them can actually benefit from sneak attack if we have flanked enemies. Yes. Yes.
We will remain here to see to our dead.
Okay, so in that case, let's just return to Clario. Speed it up. F is fast mode now. Well, that does make sense, yes. F for fast.
What can I do for you?
I have information about the dig site.
Perfetto. Tell me, please, what has happened? How much have we lost? I must know.
Aothas killed everyone there, and he'll keep doing it. I have to find him.
I understand your impatience, but Madiko, simply tell me, what of Odorisi? His research? Did you find his notes?
I didn't find anything like that.
Of course. Nothing to show for years of investment and planning. Damn it!
Clario turns away to snarl his recrimination towards the floor, a fist clenched at the side of his head.
You say this is all the work of the Titan, of Aothas, and you still insist on looking for him? He destroyed your ship, killed my people. Would it not make more sense to sail to the far side of the world and away from all this?
All my life I've sought guidance from the gods.
I do not doubt your faith. I only fear you will cut that life short.
Clario, I need your help. Aothas is looking for Audra pillars like the one in the arena.
It would explain why the giant went for the dig site, rather than attack us in the town, wouldn't it?
Clario sets a hand to his stomach. With the other, he pulls a handkerchief from his pocket to mop at his brow.
Merla. He will ravage every outpost in the Deadfire. That Adra is why we are here, why everyone is here in truth. The Valiant Trading Company, the Royal Deadfire Company, countless mercenaries. You'll want to go to Nekataka. Queen Onekaza II rules there at the Kahanga Palace. Anyone seeking to do business in the Deadfire archipelago must negotiate with her first. The Queen knows every other vein of worth in the Deadfire. I'm certain she can help you. That is, if she agrees to see you at all.
Who are the Kahanga?
The most powerful tribe in the region, now that Onikaza II has united a host of them under her rule. Ikawa would disagree, but then Ikawa contents herself with a spit of land and a handful of followers.
You promised to help me.
I have not forgotten. We will get you to Nekataka, and for that, you need your sheep. I'll arrange it with Ikawa. Between the two of us, I'm certain we can gather the workers we need. Head down to the beach once you are ready to depart.
Farewell.
Safe travels, Captain. Do take care.
Okay, so let's head back to the beach in the ship.
Good, you are here. Clario has made good on his promise. We are making ready to free your ship.
Ikawa gestures towards your vessel, where a motley group of Juana and Valian workers race to and fro.
I say still that you are fortunate. The ship was nearly lost, but it will float. For how long, I cannot say. You will wish to find a friendly port with some speed, I think.
Some good you are.
My spells do not conjure ships. Come, we will see your Defiant out to sea.
Quest item. This missive, written in what looks like dried blood on a slice of tanned leather, came to you rolled and sealed with the mark of the Aurochs. The lettering spidery and sharp, suggests the sender may have been shivering as they composed it. Most glorious watcher of Cadnua, I cordially invite you to a feast to be held in your honor. A community of like minds has congregated at Harbinger's Watch, a small outpost located in the southern Deadfire Sea, to witness the Dead Flow's rapid expansion. Soon ice shall consume all, and Rimagon's domain over Dead Aora be unchallenged. We eagerly anticipate hosting your magnificence, with admiration for your many accomplishments, Vatnir, High Harbinger of Dusk.
We should address the matter of our ship's resources before we get underway. It saddens me to inform you that we lost several crew and most of our provisions during the storm. However, Port Margé appears to be well supplied, and I expect the recent disaster has left several sailors in want of a ship. I suggest we contract for additional supplies and crew before we return to open water, or our voyage may indeed be a short one.
Okay, so let's take a look at our ship. We have Bodo. Okay, we do have Rigere. She's going to be injured for a while, just healing in there. You know, your crew uses food, water, you have your morale, your supplies, your medicine, what have you. Okay. And that letter was from the Beast of Winter DLC as well. And as you can see, it's meep. Yeah. Okay, so let's look at the map. Yeah, like this is where Nekataka is. This is where Harbinger's Watch is. And this is all of the Deadfire. It big. But first, let's do some... Oh, it looks like I can't level up until I'm on the land. Well, I'm actually going to put a save in here and call the stream for now, because we just kind of, you know, got through the prologue. Next stream, we'll be doing Persona 4 Golden again, continuing on with the Void Quest arc. And then after that, we'll be back to Deadfire, heading to Nekataka. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please do feel free to give a follow. I'm always appreciative of those. Let me see if there's anyone to raid. Nope. So as always, I will have the VOD loaded up on my YouTube channel, Ambiguous Influence. And until I next see you, hope you have a fantastic night and a good rest of the week now. Bye-bye now.